Plates 4 and 5. The Standard of Ur. This remarkable object was found laying against the shoulder of an attendant in a royal tomb chamber. It was made of wood like a box, with sloping rectangular sides, measuring 19 by 8 inches, ends in the form of truncated triangles, and a flat base and top. Sides and ends were covered with a mosaic of shell, lapis lazuli, and red sandstone set in bitumen. The base and top were plain. It might have been fixed to a pole or staff, and have been the top of a ceremonial standard. When it was found, the wood had all perished, and the bitumen had gone to a dry powder. Stones falling from the chamber roof had broken away. One corner had pressed the whole surface of the mosaic out of the flat, but by working carefully, a square inch at a time, it was possible to bind the loose tesserae with hot wax and muslin, to lift each side into one piece, and eventually to flatten each panel and fix it to a new background without disturbing or resetting the minute fragments of which the design is composed. Only the broken corner of one panel and the triangular ends, not illustrated here, were seriously dislocated and had to be pieced together afresh. The two sides of the standard represented respectively war and the celebration of victory. On the former, in the top register, is seen the king, distinguished by his stature. He is dismounted from his donkey-drawn chariot, and soldiers are leading up to him, the naked prisoners whom they have just captured. His attendants have battle axes and light spears. In the second register, we have the heavy infantry drawn up in a phalanx. They wear helmets and kilts, over which are heavy caps, probably felt like the capes of Anatolian shepherds of today. They are armed with short, heavy spears. In front of them, the light infantry, skirmishers, are engaged with the enemy. The Cimmerians wear the kilt and helmet. One has a light cloak over his arm and carries spears. The enemy are naked, some of them clean-shaven, in Cimmerian fashion, some wild bearded men, coming perhaps from the hills of Elam. In the lowest register is the chariotry. The body of the chariot, made of leather, stretched on a wooden frame, is rather like that of a milk float, high in front, open behind, and with a step at the back. The wheels are solid, made of two pieces of wood fixed together with battens or tongs. Presumably, they had leather tires, as did the wheels of the chariot we found in the king's grave below that of Queen Shubad. The pole was long and high, going above the backs of the 4 donkeys which draw the car. At its highest point is fixed the double ring through which the reins pass. 2 men are carried in each car, the driver unarmed, and a fighting man armed with a throwing spear or battle axe. Attached to the front of the car is a quiver containing 4 spare javelins for the warrior's use. The chariots advance over a field strewn with the enemy dead, and with a touch of realism, the artist shows the effect upon the donkeys. In the rear, they move quietly enough. Then, as the smell of blood excites them, quicken their pace until the front team is almost out of control and plunges furiously over the corpses. Not the least interesting figure of this mosaic picture is that it illustrates the armament and the organization of the earliest field army of which we have any knowledge, the Sumerian army, which was destined not only to win mastery of the Euphrates Valley towns, but to extend its conquests to the Anatolian highlands and to the shores of the Mediterranean. As a historical document, it is of prime importance. On the obverse side of the standard, the Sumerians celebrate their victory. In the top register, the king and his son, the main figure, has perished, are seated on chairs with the captains of the host facing them, also seated. All wear sheepskin kilts and hold drinking cups. Attendants minister to them, and a player on a lyre and a woman singer supply music. In the other two registers, servants bring food for the feast, cattle and goats and fish, and soldiers bring the spoils taken from the enemy, corded bundles, captured teams of donkeys, and a bound prisoner who may be the general of the beaten army. And keeps blurring, so I want to